Well, hello there, dear traveler. Hey, do not be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm here to, well, to help you. Yes, I am your guardian angel. Well, why am I here? Do you not see what has happened around you? You left the city to go on a little hike. However, the forest no longer looks like it did when you entered it. The trees have twisted themselves, the road has gotten darker, and there are less sunlights coming through the treetops. Well, it may be because you've gotten deeper into the woods. However, it's much more than that. Well, you, my friend, have been chosen to enter the Shadowlands. It's a universe full of mystery, of magic, and, well, if we're following along with the letter M, monsters. Not necessarily physical monsters, such as your movies, vampires, werewolves, and the like. While you might run into a few of those, I'm speaking of different types of monsters. Fears. Creatures that emulate phobias. Things of that nature. You cannot turn around and just try to walk away. Unfortunately, that's not how this works. I cannot say who chose you for this, for even I don't know who's done things like this to people. However, I do know that it is very possible to pass through, and those who do get greatly rewarded at the very end. Why? Well, because by going into the Shadowlands, you face a handful of your worst fears, or fears of others, of people that you know closely, and you learn how to face it, to overcome it if you can, and to maneuver around things if you have more trouble, as opposed to fighting it head on. You have been chosen to, well, in this sense, to grow stronger in a very strange manner. No, I'm not joking. Trust me, sometimes I wish I were. Well, I only say that because in the realm that I live in, other angels have told me that their little adventurers were not able to make it past a few levels of the shadows. Sometimes their fears are too great. Sometimes they just get lost. However, I truly believe that you are more than capable of passing through this forest, making it out to the other side, and reaching, well, I can't quite tell you what your reward is, the big prize for it is not my job to say so. Whose? I wish I knew. You are the only human who I am in charge of guarding who has come into this forest. Yes, we guardian angels may have only one human to look after, but sometimes we have 2 or 3. It just differs. It's a long topic to get into. You shouldn't worry about that. What you, my friend, should be concerned about is, well, starting this journey. I can promise you, through your days of passing into the shadows, that you will have enough food, water, and places of shelter as they have been created to aid you in the basics of survival on your path. You are not meant to leave the roads, as if you do, you will get terribly lost, and even I will never be able to find you. You will face your fears, your special is a bit strange of a word to you, personal and experienced second-hand fears of many sorts, through either literal or figurative portrayals. Your job, my friend, is to make your way through this forest, through the shadows, and to make it out on the other side, where, as I said, there's a big prize waiting for you. What fears will you be facing? Well, many different types. Some that may not be yours directly, some that, well, affect you directly. You should not be afraid, my friend. Do not be afraid. You are strong, smart, sweet. You are resilient, and I know that you have been through a lot in your life. Why you were chosen for this, I have no idea, considering that you faced enough trials in your life already. However, I know that because of these trials, you will be able to pass through this forest with no problem whatsoever. Besides, I will be here, watching you, guarding you, making sure that you are able to get out of every situation you're in, that you are able to pass each creature you encounter. And if things get dangerous, I will step in and assist in making sure you make it out of that situation unscathed. Have I protected you before? Oh, of course I have. Too many times to count. However, well, it might be a little tough to say for you, but you do know those moments where you feel so alone, and you just start to have those thoughts that no human being should ever have to think. Yes, those dark thoughts. The reason you haven't moved anywhere closer to that end is because I have been there. I am the one who has been secretly, subconsciously in your head, helping you move forward, to keep going even when things get rough. I am your guardian angel after all, and it is my duty, my privilege, to watch over you, my special traveler, to make sure that you're all right. What must you go through? I wish I could say. However, you will not go forward without any preparation. You will have this necklace. The pendant that it carries is a very special one. All that you need to do is wear it. You will naturally be protected and invisible to all of the fears, all of the creatures who emulate those fears that do not apply to you. If you were to not wear it, you would truly see just why this forest is called the Shadows. Yes, there are a lot. This is the forest where fears grow and are created, my friend. And for some reason, people must endure this trip, this journey, in order to become stronger, braver, and of course to receive that reward in the end. Your second piece of equipment is this indestructible map. It will show you where you need to go, track the steps of where you have been, and give you vital information about the different creatures that you will meet along the way. Some of them you may meet, some of them you may not. That all depends on where you are meant to go, down these paths and out towards the exit. However, I can tell you one entity that you are going to meet. It is going to be the first one that you will encounter. She is my sister. Yes, I have a sister who dwells in the shadows. It's a very long story, and sort of sad. However, we love each other, and I do try and visit her on occasion. Her name is Lilith, and she is a very strong angel who lives in the shadows. It is a sad story as to how she ended up here, but that is for another time. She won't hurt you, so do not fear her either. But she will give you a little bit of guidance, as she knows the shadows more than I do. Your last equipment piece is you. Your courage, your strength, your resilience. You are more than capable of passing this forest, going into the shadows, and leaving safely. While you may encounter some dangers along the way, you are strong. You should not be afraid, as these things will only show itself to you in order to help you surpass them. You will be all right. I believe in you, and my sister Lilith believes in you too. And she will tell you that herself. I'm not just saying that as her sister. But you should not be afraid. Yes, these are phobias and fears and creatures that do not exist in your world. But they are things that you can overcome. either instantaneously or over a period of time. Either way, my friend, I know that you can do this. I know that you can make it through. At the end of the day, it is your job to pass through this forest. But trust me, you can do this. And you will not be alone. Remember, I will be watching from above to make sure that nothing harms you. I will also visit from time to time until you make it past the forest and into, well, I cannot say. I know. Facing your fears is a scary thing to do. And a lot of the times, people prefer to avoid it as opposed to face it. However, you cannot grow if you do not face things that are trying to keep you from growing. It may take time and a lot of energy, but you should not ever give up. You are strong. I know that you can do this. It is time for me to go now, my friend, and time for you to start your journey. Do not be afraid, and take courage. I will be nearby. Do not worry. Now, stand tall, my friend. You have a long journey ahead of you, one that I know you are more than capable of going on. Breathe, hold tight to your map, and start moving forward, for your journey begins right now.